You know that coworker that's doing the bare minimum, okay? They can barely keep up with the work they're assigned. You're not even sure how they still have a job at your company because they're doing that bare minimum at your job.
Show up late to work, do the bare minimum, use the bathroom as much as you can, steal a little bit.
The happiest people at most companies are the people who do the least.
In the workplace, do the bare minimum, be the last one in and the first one out. This is the formula to protecting your peace.
Hear me out, guys. What if people aren't really getting lazier? They're just not doing the extra work that doesn't pay off. If you are a person out there that is working a regular job, specifically like, warehouse work and all that good stuff, you can probably feel what's going on in the workplace. There's a real change that's happening. People are still showing up. They're still doing their jobs and they're still getting their work done, of course. But the extra effort, the going above and beyond, and that, like, all that's disappearing. Like, all that stuff's pretty much gone. And a lot of people are calling it laziness, but I don't think that's what it really is, because most people didn't suddenly just lose their work ethic, okay? They lost the incentive. For a long time now, there was this understanding of, hey, if you work hard, you be reliable to the company that you work for, and if you go the extra mile, it will eventually pay off. You will get better pay, you will get better stability, more opportunities as well. But for a lot of workers right now in the year of 2026, that connection feels very broken. As a matter of fact, I would even go as far to say that people that go above and beyond are the ones that get the short end of the stick in the workplace. Because there are people out here that are working harder, okay, but they're not seeing any meaningful success. Wages haven't gone up for them, okay? And they can't even keep up to begin with. Costs will keep on rising, and promotions, they feel very limited and rare. So now the question really isn't, how hard can I work? It's really, what am I actually getting out of this extra work that I'm putting in? Why am I trying to prove myself to these people that don't even care themselves? And once you start really asking that question, the behavior is going to change, okay? People will stop overextending, they will stop volunteering for extra work, and they will stop giving energy that isn't being returned. Not because they don't care, of course not, but because they are being more intentional. And then you add everything else on top of it, like burnout, job instability, and the rising cost of living. At that point, work isn't just about the effort, it's about survival. And when your baseline stress is already high, you have no choice but to protect your energy, guys. I'm just saying, like, you do what is required, you do what is in that job description, and you don't let it get past that. And that's literally it. And from the outside in, it will look a lot like disengagement, but I promise you that's not what it is. Because from the inside, it feels like self-preservation. Because there are people that are not opting out of work, okay? They're not doing that. They're just opting out of the unrewarded effort that they put in to try and stand out. People don't really care to stand out anymore. They go in there, do their work, and they're clocking right on the dot. And that's the big difference that we're seeing in today's workplace. I do believe that there is a trade-off to this, okay? Because when everyone starts doing less extra, the workplaces is going to change, okay? They're going to be less initiative, less momentum, and less growth overall. But that shift just doesn't happen randomly. There is a reason, okay? It is a response to a system where effort and outcome don't really feel aligned anymore. So no, American workers, they didn't suddenly just become lazy, okay? They just stopped giving more. They stopped putting in the extra effort, all right? And when it stopped making sense, and until that connection comes back to where people that put in the extra effort really are the ones that are getting rewarded out here, this idea to where you have American workers doing the bare minimum at their jobs, this ain't going nowhere if this keeps up.
And if you work a 9 to 5, make sure that you fuck off for the next couple of weeks. Don't forget those pizza parties, those free In-N-Out burgers, all the free food that they're gonna give you during the next couple of weeks is all a trick. They're trying to sweeten and butter you up to make you think that, they fucking care about me. I'm gonna make sure that I work hard before I have to clock out before the holidays. Fuck them. They don't give a fuck about you. You're a number. That raise that you were asking for, yeah, we'll just give you a little baby bonus, but I'm gonna make sure to load up a bunch of fucking work before I even try to give you a goddamn raise. They don't give a fuck about you. Trust me. Coming from someone that worked a 9 to 5 for many, many fucking years. You're not fucking family. That's what they say. You're not family to them. So fuck off and do whatever the fuck you want. Bare minimum all the way.
Your job doesn't deserve your work ethic, especially if you're the black sheep. Here is why. Your lazy and bummy coworkers aren't expected to do much. They put in little effort and they still walk away with the same check that you're getting. While you're expected to work for every single cent that you make just because you choose to remain to yourself and not get involved in the work BS. So by doing the bare minimum, what you're doing is you're resetting the precedents and the expectations in this role. Hear me out. Your colleagues are forced to pick up their slack because you're no longer covering it. Normally you're an amazing employee and you don't have no problem doing so because you work so efficiently, but no, they need to earn their check. And that will also take a lot of the pressure off of your back. You'll end up stress-free and they'll pick up the stress that they truly deserve. But what are your thoughts? Like and follow for more.
I'm going to be completely honest, but I literally do the bare minimum at work, and somehow I'm still the most reliable person in the team just by doing this. So the next time when you're in a meeting, you are going to open this app, you're going to hit new note, start recording, just let it record the meeting, and whenever it's done, you are going to pause it, you're going to hit done. You're just going to give it a minute, and this is what it should look like after you have well-organized bullet-by-bullet notes. Also, if you have any questions, you just click right here where it says Ask Anything, and you ask a question. Ask anything you want, and it literally gives you the answer. And if you want to listen back to the meeting, you are going to click on these 3 dots. You're going to play audio.
Maybe we could just,
That's pretty cool.
I didn't understand before, but I get it now. I'm about to start doing the bare minimum at this job because why do y'all got me stressed out, burnt out, worried about what Top Dog gonna say when he get back? You got us all stressed out, but y'all don't say nothing to the people who don't do nothing at all. They just come to work and collect a check. Bare minimum. That's all I can say. Y'all not getting nothing else out of me.
In the workplace, do the bare minimum, be the last one in and the first one out. This is the formula to protecting your peace. Stop going above and beyond for companies that don't care or respect or value you. And why do people want to be valued? I want to be valued by my company. Why? They don't value you. Right, just look after number one. Also, stop thinking your co-workers are family. They're not. Have boundaries in the workplace to protect your peace. Go in, do your job, go home, be with loved ones, have boundaries. Because otherwise you're going to end up with mental health issues. And stop doing loads of hard work. Stop going above and beyond, going in early, staying late. You're not going to get rewarded for it. The people that get promoted are the ones that go in the office. They laugh at the right time. They brown nose to the managers. But don't do that. They end up with alter egos. The workplace can be very, very damaging if you don't know how to play this very corporate political poker game, which is very confusing for some people, but you can end up with alter egos and loss of identity and a lot of problems mentally if you don't protect yourself and just stay within the lines, having boundaries. And remember, hard work doesn't get you anywhere. You know, the horse that's willing to carry, the heaviest load will always carry the heaviest load. Good work never goes unpunished, and hard work results in more work, right? That's the truth. So take this message not as a bad work ethic, but a way of protecting your peace in the workplace.
The happiest people at most companies are the people who do the least. They show up to work every day. They do the bare minimum. Nobody asks them for much because they know they're not going to do much. They collect their check and they go on their way. They love it. The most miserable people at work are the overachievers, are the people who are going above and beyond. You're doing all of that. You're not getting rewarded for it. They're not going to pay you more or elevate you. So you have low confidence and lots of self-doubt. Stop doing the most.
Show up late to work, do the bare minimum, use the bathroom as much as you can, steal a little bit. Every system of exploitation has this fatal flaw. It needs the worker to cooperate. The plantation needs the slave. If the slave doesn't cooperate, it doesn't make any sense to the people exploiting. They are stupid or they are lazy. This dude Samuel Cartwright comes up with drapetomania, which is a mental illness to describe black people that want to be free. In his description of this mental illness, black people are lazy and stupid because they're not producing enough for the plantation. They're breaking tools and they don't understand the directions they're being given. No shit. Why would anybody want to work for you? Or why would anybody take your directions and do something proper with them when they can feign ignorance as a huge middle finger to you, the slave master? Drag your feet. Bezos is a douchebag. Nobody needs their package that fast. GPT, delete it. Do not give these clowns any of your energy, any of your attention. Opt out. We don't have to play this nonsense game. Peace and love.
You know that coworker that's doing the bare minimum, okay? They can barely keep up with the work they're assigned. You're not even sure how they still have a job at your company because they're doing that bare minimum at your job. And then there's that coworker that might be you, okay, that's exceeding expectations. Always going above and beyond, the trusted employee, the one that's training all the new hires, assigned all the projects. They are the go-to person when leadership needs anything. You and that other employee doing the bare minimum are probably getting paid very similar, if not the same exact thing. Okay, there might be a cents difference if you're lucky, maybe $1, but you guys are most likely getting paid the same thing. And guess what? That other employee is leaving on time. Okay, they're out enjoying life. They're out living life, collecting that check, which you should probably also be doing if you're not being rewarded fairly at your job. Okay, if you are being rewarded, that's a whole different story. But most likely you're not. Sales are down. Budgets are not where they should be right now. So you're most likely getting paid the same, but leaving later, spending less of your time with your friends and family, loved ones. So think about this when you're putting in the extra hours, taking in all the projects, all the training. Really think about the payoff.
And I'm going to try to say this as gently as I can. If your motherfucking pay and your job is not based on your performance, don't be the best. Do the rest.